Hey Amarillo, I'm Skylar Gallup, and you're listening to Hey Amarillo, the interview podcast featuring some of the most interesting people and stories of Amarillo, Texas. We record every week at Amarillo College's Innovation Outpost. The IO supports education, workforce development, and industry growth by inspiring and facilitating innovation in the Texas Panhandle. Today's guest is Samuel Uwimana. Samuel was born in Congo, Africa, and resettled in Amarillo in 2018 through the Refugee Resettlement Program. As you can imagine, his story is an incredible one. But what's also incredible is the work Samuel's doing in Amarillo to support fellow refugees through their resettlement processes and beyond. Here's Samuel. Samuel Uwimana, welcome to the Hey Amarillo podcast.
Thank you, Skylar Gallup. I'm honored. It's a pleasure to be here.
I'd like to start, though, the same way I start all these guys, and that's by asking how you got here. How'd you get to Amarillo, which is a remarkable journey in your case?
Wow, that's a very big question for me because I wasn't born here. I wasn't born in Texas and not even in the US. I was born in Africa, in a small country but beautiful called Rwanda. It's in East Africa. In the 1998. How it took me 20 years to find myself in Amarillo, like almost all my life. I lived in different parts of the world, Kenya, Rwanda, and my parents are from Congo. There was no chance for me to be here in Amarillo, but I found myself here in the Panhandle, and I love it.
So let's take it by chunks. You were born in Rwanda. Talk to me about your childhood and adolescence. What did that look like in Rwanda?
Rwanda, my mother is from Rwanda, but my father is from a different country, which is Congo. Rwanda was, we were refugees. Mm-hmm. I was born there, but I'm not from there. I was just born there. We left Congo fleeing war. We were being persecuted on the basis of our ethnicity. Yeah. We were the minority groups in the Eastern DRC Congo. The Congo people did not treat us as we are the same as them. They thought we belonged somewhere else and not in Congo. So they could chase us, take our properties, abuse us, rape our women, and also hit the men. Put them in prison. Yes. So then my father and my mom flee war, and that's how my mom left Congo when she was pregnant with me. All the way on the journey. It was a tough journey. My brothers were crying along the way when the perpetrators were near her. So she would silence my brothers, like, hey, stop crying. They're going to catch us. They're going to hear us and kill us. And at that time, she was pregnant in the forest. Sometimes it would rain, and they could really walk long distances without food. If they get a chance to get some food or to go somewhere get food, that would be a plus. That would be a blessing in that day, in the journey. Yeah. Then my mom got to Rwanda. She gave birth to me, and I grew up in Rwanda. I lived there for 10 years.
Were you in a refugee camp or settled in a village? What did that look like when you were refugees in Rwanda from Congo?
When we were refugees in Rwanda, my dad was a cattleman. Like, he was wealthy back in the 70s, 80s. So he had dollars back then. He had huge amounts of dollars, and he used to do business in Rwanda. Okay. So he would go from Congo to Rwanda, do business and
selling cattle,
and also other businesses from the income that he had made, from the revenues he had made from selling cattle. Yeah. So he was familiar with Rwandan community. Okay. There was no way he was going to live in a refugee camp since he knew the whereabouts. He had his uncle in Rwanda.
Okay, great.
So we lived in town actually in the capital city of Rwanda, which is Kigali, in a district called Kicukiro.
And you said you were in Rwanda for 10 years?
10 years.
Okay, and then?
And then we had to flee Rwanda and go to Kenya. We had to go to Kenya. Now that's where the refuge status kind of came back alive. Being a refugee kind of hit us again. The pain of being a refugee in a foreign country which you don't know its language and its laws. I couldn't speak Swahili in Kenya. Swahili is the national language. I was just a kid from Rwanda. I could speak Kinyarwanda only. And then I'm in Kenya where they speak Swahili and English, and of course, many hundreds of ethnic languages, minority languages.
So you're 10 years old, you've been displaced again. How many siblings?
Initially we were 8 kids, 7 boys, and 1 girl. Guess what? My sister passed away before I was even born.
I'm so sorry.
She could have been my elder sister, but she passed away when she was 3. Yeah, it's very sad. I don't have a sister, and I feel the gap, and that I can get some challenges because I don't know how sometimes to maybe approach my future wife.
I see. Yeah.
But again, I'm extrovert and I'm able to talk to people. I don't have challenges with that.
Yeah.
But we are just 7 boys, and again, one of my brothers had died before I was born. Mm-hmm. So those are 2 siblings that passed away before I get to see them.
Right.
Later on in Kenya, in 2014, I lost another brother. He was in his 30s. He was the most strongest in our family. Oh. He was charismatic. He was outgoing. He loved God. He could go help at our church. He was just amazing.
What was his name?
Yeah, he had beautiful hair, and he was gone. His name was Etienne Ruhorimbere. That's his last name. I know it's wrong. It's very long. Etienne Ruhorimbere, and he was gone. Mm. Yeah, when he died, I went to school in Kenya. I was in high school. At 5 p.m. when I came back, he was laying down in the couch. So I get to see him when I walked in the door from school. That was quite a traumatic and also memory that cannot go away or be erased in my mind. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And at that time, it was you and your siblings and your mother and father in Kenya?
Yes. That time I still had my father. My father, we were in Kenya, but he didn't last long in Kenya because he died after 1 year.
In Kenya?
In Kenya. We were refugees. We had no land. We had no house, nowhere to farm. We had no jobs. And of course, in a new country. Mm-hmm. Who's going to hire you?
Not speaking the language.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we lost our father, who was the breadwinner, the head of the household. My mom could not work. She couldn't speak Swahili. Her Swahili was from Congo, but Swahili from Congo is different, way different from the Swahili in Kenya. Mm-hmm. Now, it's me and my brothers who had to figure out how are we going to support our big family.
Yeah, I know that was a really pivotal moment in your life that sort of changed kind of what your day-to-day looked like. So you went from, going to high school to really having to, as you've said, step in and be the breadwinner for your family. You and your brothers did. What did that look like for you at that time? And how old were you?
I was, if I believe, 13 years old. I loved school. I was very smart in school. I have always loved education. When you talk about education, that's my thing. Like, I love to study. I love to learn. I love to read books. I love to try new things. And now at the age of 13, seeing that being taken away, and I was performing really good.
Yeah.
I remember I get to Kenya. I don't speak Swahili, but after 6 months, my first year in Kenya, I was outsmarting all the kids, and they were born there.
Yeah.
I was in the top of class. My father died. I had to drop out of school. No school fees. It was pretty expensive. Schools in Kenya, and it was a private school. Mm-hmm. It was very expensive. I had to go look for a job to support my mom, to support my brothers. Since there was no adult, right. We were all strangers, refugees. We are all equal. I was 13. I was the same as my 24-year-old brother.
Yeah.
We were all in the same basket. And I dropped out of the school. After burying my father, we went to bury him in Langata, Kenya. After that, we say, hey, my mom told us, you cannot go back to school again. I don't have money to pay for you. All the savings we had from Rwanda had ran out, were exhausted. And now we started looking for small businesses to open. No one could give me a job at 13.
Sure.
They'll be like, why, who's gonna buy from you? You're just a baby. You don't know what you're doing. So we had to come up with our own business ideas, which was roasting chicken and sausages and boiled eggs, where you cut it into two halves and put onion and tomatoes and some chili
Sure.
and sell it to someone. The most money that I could make was $2 the first 3 months on a good day, which is 200 shillings.
Okay.
Eventually, Kenyan women came to buy from me, and they would kind of like to know more about me. Why are you in the streets? Why are you not in the school studying? And they get to learn my struggles.
Mm-hmm.
Some days they could bring us food, potatoes to my mom. They could ask where I live and bring those food to my mom. Because me being in the streets, in the spotlight, in the daylight, that showed something to them. And if they are kind enough, they could come to where I live to see the root cause, what caused me to be in the streets selling those kind of products at my age.
Yeah. Tell me about your mom.
My mom is persevering. She's strong. She has been through the most.
Yeah.
She lost, as I told you, she lost her kids, her firstborn. She has seen through wars.
Yeah.
She lived through those moments, and she lost her husband. In Rwanda, by the way, my father was not active. He was not in the workplace. He was not having a job, like a permanent job. So he was the one who was the breadwinner. My father was good in Congo, was perfect in Congo. He had hundreds of cattle, of cows. He was a cowboy, as we call them here in Texas.
That's lovely.
And in Congo, he lost everything, and he kind of gave up his hope. He gave up his ambitions. All his intellectual capacity kind of diminished, and he still helped people in Rwanda, but my mom was the one selling. It's more like cakes. It's not cakes. It's these tiny balls of flour of, how can I say it? It's like cakes, but it's not cakes.
Sure.
And she could barely make a living.
Yeah.
And she used that to take my brothers to school in Rwanda. Luckily, we could get scholarships from our hard work, from us performing well in our academics, but she still did the most. In Kenya, the same thing. Should go look for somewhere to farm or to cultivate and get the money. My mom is everything. We should be the ones right now providing for her. But unfortunately, at her age, she gets to go to work at Tyson, which resonates with many.
So she's here in Amarillo with you?
She's here in Amarillo with me.
She works at Tyson?
Yeah. Fortunately, she's here with me in Amarillo, and she works at Tyson at 65 years old. We can't help it. And many refugee parents works there because we are not able to support them right now because of course, our history, where we come from. We still have a long way to go. We still have to do, to work hard to be in a place to support our families fully, or even our parents. So refugee kids, really, we have a huge task because our parents.
I know you're doing amazing work to advance our refugee community, and we'll dig into that certainly. So let's talk about how you got from Kenya in high school aged, although not in school, working in the streets, selling food. How did you get to Amarillo? How did that happen?
Right. When you're a refugee in a secondary country, in Kenya or anywhere in the world, Thailand, there is UNHCR. Okay. There is UN branches that resettles refugees. As soon as you go to a country that admit refugees, there is refugee admissions going on. You go and say, hey, I am from this country. I came fleeing war from Congo. I'm a refugee from Congo, and I'm seeking refugee status here in Kenya so I can be accepted. Now, in Kenya, they process interviews, they admit you. They say, who are you? They do security checks and background checks. They need to know who you are.
Yeah.
If you're not lying, if you are really a refugee and if you truly come from Congo, it's a very long process. Let me say it's a very long process. It took me 8 years.
8 years.
8 years from
Wow.
Kenya to Amarillo. I first got in Kenya in 2010 in November. I came to the USA in 2018 in February. It's a tiresome process. You can easily give up. And the
Sure.
process is not guaranteed. It's like a favor. The US or any country that resettle refugees, they are doing you a favor. So you have no reason, no matter the persecution you have faced in the past, no matter the discrimination.
Yeah.
We just had to be patient, to be called in for interviews. After you finish the interview in UN, and your case is if they can approve your case in UN, they send it to Refugee Support Center, which is controlled and run by the US Department of State.
Okay.
That's where people from the USA go to those countries to work, to check these people if they're legit and if their case is if it's true.
Yeah.
And then from there, hopes start arising, start coming back again.
Yeah.
Oh, I was accepted in the first phase. Now we need to focus in the second phase. After you get approved, they sent you from the RCS, Refugee Support Centers. Your case is transferred to the US Embassy. Now you are like, yeah,
More hope. Yeah.
I'm about to go to the USA. But of course, it's a long process unless God does miracles for you and you came here in 3 years or 4 years. We have seen girls who have been raped or really discriminated come here in 3 years and 4 years, and they put them in the foster homes. Yeah. So
And so all this time, are you still selling food on the streets?
at this time,
Yeah.
oh,
This
no.
whole time that you're waiting, what are you doing in Kenya?
So after my dad, of course, passed away,
Yeah.
went the streets. After 1 year, my brothers took charge. They step up and they say, hey, let's do this job. The jobs you guys are doing, we're gonna do it.
Okay.
And you guys go back to school. They could see the potential. They did not let us go the same way or lose our education the same way theirs happened. And you see now, those sacrifices are now paying off. Like literally, when I first came to America, I started having these good jobs because I could speak English, because I was doing well in my economics class, in my chemistry class, physics, geography. And in Kenya, we speak English.
Yeah.
I did my school in English. That gave me a head start
Yeah.
to perform well, and it was a very advantageous privilege that I had that my brother took charge. So I stopped selling dolls in the first year.
Okay.
And again, why did I go back to school? Not just my brothers, because they didn't promise us to pay for our school fees. They just promised us they're gonna provide for my mom and for our family, pay rent. We were having an apartment that we had to pay. And Skylar, don't play with the Kenyan landlords.
Oh man.
If you skip your 1 month rent payment, tomorrow you're gonna find your things outside.
Wow.
They have access to the house. So
that's the pressure that you guys are living under.
yeah, there was really immense pressure there.
Yeah.
The second blessing that we received in Kenya was my local, he was a pastor, this guy was a pastor, and he still had a school. So the school we had dropped out of from, he ran the school. Now, he didn't know what happened to us for that 1 year. After a year, he learned about us, me and my brother. We performed good in school. We were very good soccer players. I still am. He knew how important we were assets to his school, because if we go and perform well in our sports activities, win these soccer games, come on, his school will get more credibility and trust.
Right.
He said, come to my office, I'm gonna give you scholarships until you finish your high school years.
Wow.
I still had 3 more years to go. and he paid for that.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And for my brother. And I did not let him down. I wanted to prove to him that what he had done for me, I didn't take it for granted, and showed him that I really needed to be in school.
Yeah.
I was in top 3, if not top 2, or top 1. Yeah. I came at the top of my class many times, performing well in my classes, chemistry, physics, economics, geography, history, and also Swahili, which was my second language.
That's amazing. What year did you receive the news that you'd be resettled as a refugee in the United States?
The news came in 2017, at the end of 2017. But really in January, that's when we had the news of 2018. Okay. That next month you are going to the USA. They give you 1 month period to get ready, to buy things, clothes, do your own shopping. That was a big moment. We could not sleep. I did not sleep that night. And we had some level of digital literacy. I could track our case online. When we saw that news on our phones, oh man, our hearts skipped for a bit. Our hearts were excited, joy. We ran to our mom and our brothers, ready to break the news. Hey, our case will get approved. We are going to fly. Since we knew how the steps were, we knew we were almost coming to America, the moment we had been waiting for 8 years. Can you imagine?
Samuel, what was your perspective of the United States growing up in Africa?
American people and the country in general, the USA, everyone wants to come to the USA, I'll be honest. The USA was a dream country. We love the USA even before seeing it or being here. We knew you can be anything in the USA if you put your mind to it. If you work really hard, nothing's going to be handed to you. Although we had those kind of misconceptions or misunderstandings about the USA. Oh, the money grows on trees. You'll just go walking and pick money on trees, which is way different. Right. You really have to work hard. Sure. And the competition level here is pretty high. But in general, as a kid in Africa, America was everything that I could ever dreamed of. Since I knew my capabilities, right? Since I grew up in a very good family, they instill these values in us, like work hard. You can achieve literally anything, and America continues to prove me right. If you just have a vision. And if you're a good person and you work hard for it, you can achieve anything.
And so in 2018, you got on an airplane and landed in Amarillo? Is that how that happens?
In 2018 is the day that I will never forget. It's even one of my passcodes for my bank cards. I came to America February 14th of 2018.
Valentine's Day.
Oh yeah, it was
Valentine's Day. That's lovely.
That's how I remember vividly. It was on Valentine's Day, and we were driving. They took the bus came. We had to go somewhere in the mornings. We had to get ready. That night we did not sleep.
Oh, I'm sure.
People came to say bye to us from the community, and we went in town where they put us. It's like a transit center. Yeah. You go there in the morning, and there's going to be a bus that's going to come take you to the airport around 5 p.m. since the flights were at night. Okay. Flights from Africa going international flies at 11:30 p.m.-ish. Okay. Man, that was going to be my first time in the airplane. First of all, there was many things to be excited about. We used to see airplanes in the skies passing by, and we could look up, tilt our heads until the airplane goes away. Yeah. I don't see no one here in America doing that. You guys are used to these airplanes. We grew up with that kind of excitement, and now I had to fly my first flight and going to America. Come on.
It's incredible.
It was a very beautiful moment.
How did it end up being Amarillo? Was that just, this is where you're going?
My uncle came to the USA in 2007,
Okay.
but he didn't live in Amarillo. He lived in Portland, Maine, all the way in the north. And when we were about to come to the USA in 2017, he had moved here in Amarillo.
Okay.
When you are still a refugee back home in Africa, in Kenya, they ask you, do you have any US tie? Do you have anyone who can welcome you at the airport?
Yeah.
Who's going to show you around, which really helps
It's helpful, yeah.
Yeah, in terms of integration. It really plays a huge role for us to integrate here successfully when we have people here in the community who know the whereabouts, the resources here in town.
Yeah.
Who's gonna grab your hand and keep you like not get in trouble or set up for success.
Right.
So my uncle was here. That's why we came here, because he had lived here, and we gave them his address. The resettlement agencies, they had his information. So they knew, okay, we came from Kenya, we flew to, I believe it was Dubai, then from Dubai to Houston. From Houston, we slept there for one night in a hotel, and the next morning we flew to Amarillo. He was at the airport, and many of our communities were at the airport to pick us up.
Yeah.
Because they had announced in the church that we have a new family, big family, that is going to come to the USA. Please make time on Wednesday. Was it Wednesday or Thursday? Probably Wednesday. It was 16th of February, 2018. So they came.
And they all came to welcome you.
Oh, it was a lot of people.
Oh, that's beautiful.
It was a blessing. It was many people were there. They packed their vehicles. It's usually big news when we are about to welcome one of us in America. We all go. Small kids, babies, adults.
Oh, that's beautiful.
We all fill that airport.
So what do you have with you? I mean, is it like 2 suitcases? Like, what did you have when you arrived here? What did your family have?
Each person was approved 2 cases.
2 suitcases.
Yeah, 23. It was 23 kilograms.
Yeah.
That's like 46 pounds.
Right.
And those were fair. I mean, that was enough for us to put to our shopping, winter clothes. I'm going to tell you my experiences. I got here when it was in February and it was freezing cold. No. It was freezing cold. And I felt my ears were falling off because the cold wind was
Amarillo winter, man, welcome.
Yeah, it was whipping my ears. I could step outside for like 5 minutes and come back in the house running like, Mom.
This is awful.
Which country are we in? Like, is this US? Yeah. So 2 suitcases and 1 backpack. Okay. Each person. So my mom had hers, my brothers had theirs, and also had mine.
And so you were welcomed immediately into this community of refugees in Amarillo, which is so beautiful. What was the process like for your family, learning the ways here, getting plugged in and resources? And I know that a lot of your body of work now helps that go even smoother for people. But what was it like, for your mom maybe specifically? But I guess at this point you're what, 18, 19?
I was 20.
20. Okay, so you're a young man. What was it like, other than the terrible winters?
The terrible winters. For me, I was excited, but again, lost, very lost. When we first got resettled, we were living in Green Tree Apartments. Okay. It's off of Fritchie Highway near Grand, Northeast 24th and Grand. Okay. It was quite isolated. And I was a person who wanted to talk to Americans, get to know people, be integrated, like know the resources. Like, how do you guys live here? Where can I get? You're
educated, you're outgoing, you're ready to go, and feeling a bit isolated in this apartment.
Oh yes, very isolated. We could spend weeks without leaving our apartment complex. Wow. Like nothing to do. It's the cultural shock. The culture shock was real. And that's why it's very important for organization like mine to be out there on the lookout to look for these people
Yeah.
So we can extend the welcome of the community to them. Like, hey, we are here, we are open, we have spaces you can come and study, learn English, get resources, get connected to good people, which is why I have a program in my organization called Refuge in Friendship. Friendship are very important. For me to be where I am right now, it was those tiny moments of friendships. People could come to pick me up from my apartment. Now, I started getting people, American people, coming to pick us for movies. Let's go to the movies. Let's go eat. Let's go to church.
Yeah.
Wow, that was eye-opening. I started seeing people and get to learn the American culture firsthand, which we also work to teach other refugees here in town so they don't get it wrong when dealing or maybe when having a conversation with the American people. They need to know certain things. You need to keep that distance when you are at checkout at Walmart. When you are checking out your products, don't get too close, because in my culture, people get close to each other. You have to leave that distance. Yeah, and don't touch people when you're talking to them. I have seen people really being too friendly, and they think it's okay.
Just a cultural difference that you got to learn.
You got to learn.
Interesting.
Yeah, you got to learn. And
so, are you given a job as a refugee? I mean, are there jobs set up, or do you have to kind of navigate that yourself? Like when you came here, were you working, or what was that like?
Remember, I told you about the refugee resettlement agencies.
Yeah,
that's one of their biggest tasks and duties to do. When we come here, they are responsible to support a refugee for the first 3 months.
Okay.
But really, like 6 months, it depends on the circumstances or the situation. If you're not able to get a job, to get hired in the first 3 months, they can support you up to 6 months. Now, they paid for rent for us, which we are thankful for, and trying to see how we can be self-sufficient, support ourselves, and because we were eager to work, and on my end, I was eager to study, to learn. But it's quite impossible for refugee communities or even kids, teenagers, 17, 18, after they finish high school at PD, Tascosa, Amarillo High School, or Caprock, we find ourselves going back to Tyson or JBS, working in these meat plantations. We always need some sort of capital to buy our first vehicle, car, so we can be able to go to school, drive ourselves. Which is why I think my programs really are very important. I have a refuge driver education project. The driver education is very important for the refugee communities. I've been teaching it for the past 2 years. I started with the Congolese women, and these people, all this time, what they lacked is people who care, people who really going to do the hard projects, the hard programs. Congolese women are able to drive now in the city, and there is an increase in, if you teach someone how to drive in a new country, teach them traffic laws. We have made mistakes in these Texas roads. In Amarillo, why? We are not well informed. Or people are not being told the consequences of breaking the laws here.
Okay.
Or other part is maybe no one gave them a formal education. So to go back to how we get jobs here, refugee resettlement agencies, they apply for us jobs, which I also do for the people now. But when we came, I was resettled by Refugee Services of Texas before they closed. They shut down 2 years ago due to different circumstances. So they helped us get the jobs and also look for schools.
And are the jobs, is it Tyson and JBS, and is it just the meat packing, are pretty much the resettlement jobs that the agencies are applying for refugees for, or are there other opportunities that they're applying for on behalf of refugees?
I wish there were more opportunities for refugee communities, especially the young ones.
Yeah.
We would say my wishes would be between 18 to 40ish, 45, or even 50. I wish we had better job opportunities here in Amarillo that hired refugee communities, because as soon as we go to Tyson or JBS, man, if you don't pay attention, you're gonna spend your lifetime there if no one is going to guide you, or if there is not enough resources in the community. We need to have resources for the refugee communities, like English class, digital literacy, have some skills, workforce, to have them like teach them skills that they can use at their jobs, specifically this job.
Right.
That's why 98, if not 99, of refugee people work in the meat plants, Tyson, JBS, Cargill. I'm not a big fan of that idea, especially for the young people. I mean, and by the way, Skylar, that's one of the reasons we come to Amarillo. I'm sorry to say this, it's sad, but America know what they're doing. And Texas, this series, they know they need the workforce. They need workforce. No, if you go to Tyson, you're not gonna see Americans. Yeah. Few of them. It's just the immigrants, Hispanics, refugees, Congolese, Burmese, and just low-income communities. That's why
they're not high-quality jobs. I think it's one thing, to have the program where we know that there are huge populations of people that, need to be resettled in America and get to come to this dream country, that you grew up, with a dream in your head. And I think it's one thing to have a job to connect you to when you get here. But to your point, if we're not upskilling and educating, then that is the only job that they have. And then sometimes we see, and that is the only job their children have. And I think that's a challenge in our community, is that, we've got to have people to work in meat processing plants. It's one of our biggest economies, biggest parts of our economy in the Texas Panhandle. But when we're not educating, supporting, and upskilling, then it is this place where our refugee community stays.
Yes. We are usually stuck between being thankful, because back home, or refugees back home, really didn't have any income. Yeah. Now here we are stuck between, this is very physical, demanding job.
Rough.
It's going to affect our health. Yeah. Most likely. But again, we need to be thankful that we have these jobs. My mom works and she loves her job because she can't help it. If you pay attention to, I spend time, almost 90% of my time, with refugee communities, with refugee mothers. They come to my office and show me their hands, swollen, my back, like they really weep in that center, and be like the shock absorber for their pain, which really it's the safe community, it's a safe space. When you hear those challenges that they are facing in America, in a country where we had these high expectations of, that's where it kicks in that, hey, you are just in another different parts of the world. It's not heaven. People in Africa think America is heaven. Most people who have never been here before, or people who doesn't have a better life back home. Those are things that make us refugees kind of wish to go back home, rebuild our lives back there. I have seen, when does a refugee or immigrant kind of give up on America? It's when they have gotten into a trouble with the law, maybe, or with the law enforcement that they cannot get out of. Like, the law is going to keep you accountable, whether you know it or not. Right. The ignorance of you not knowing it doesn't change the rules of law, the Constitution, or the fundamentals of. Right. I mean, and again, my organization was really, and is until now, I live these experiences firsthand. Refugees, I can say they are in safe hands in our community. One, because I'm not speaking highly of myself, but because I am here, I know how we can serve them.
Yes, yeah.
I know what to put on the table.
Yeah.
I know how to create these conversations. And we have many, not many, we have some good organizations here in town that serves refugees. I mean, not even some, all of them does a fantastic job. There might be some challenges to be able to pay staffs or to raise money because we are nonprofits. But again, these are communities that needs to be really cultivated and developed.
And so, talk about your organization, this thing that you built that is making some of those connections that if you don't know, I mean, the point that you make about how important a driver's license is, how important it is for people to know laws because the laws are going to be enforced regardless of whether you know that. Those are things that if you don't know to think about them, you don't know to think about them. Talk about this amazing organization you've built.
Yes, it's called United Refugee Services.
And just to note, I'm going to interrupt you.
Sure.
I wish that the listenership could have seen how your face just lit up.
Thank you.
When you introduced your organization.
Yes, it's very dear to me. It was born out of God's love and driven by it. Yeah. And the necessity to equip and engage, educate, the refugee communities. Like, we are willing to go above and beyond for these communities. Our love for this community grows every single day. And I realized that our love for them grows the most when we face the hardest challenges. Not in the smooth moments, not in the easy moments, those hard moments. That moment where you drive a Congolese lady to Oklahoma or to Dallas for her citizenship appointment to become a US citizen, and they lose it, and they fail. And on the way back, driving back home in Amarillo, that's when you feel more conviction. You feel that your love for them keeps growing. And like, man, we need to open a citizenship class. We need to open more ESL classes to better set up for success for them, to better prepare them in 5 years. Hey, start now. In 5 years, you're going to become a US citizen. What a privilege to be a US citizen. We serve United Refugee Services. We use, of course, language interpreters. We have interpreters from all parts of the communities, from Burmese, from Burma. We have Karen interpreters. And by the way, the greatest resource our community has and still will need and will always have. If you treat them well, they will be here for the communities. So we use language interpreters. I speak 4 languages, 5, 6. I would like to say 5 or 6 or 5.5 because my French is fully developed. I did my middle school in French, but then when I went to Kenya in high school,
a very chill 5 or 6 languages, no big deal. Your French isn't what it used to be.
The way you make it sound. So yeah,
it's incredible.
Yeah, mon français très impair. It's very, very, very little. Yeah.
The number of dialects. I know, I do some work in public education, and so I've spent some time on campuses that have large refugee communities, and just the number of dialects is astonishing.
Oh yeah. Talk about it. You can have someone from same country, same ethnic, and they speak different dialects. Yeah. You say, are you from this country? Yeah. But how comes you don't speak their language that this person is speaking? Your
incredible.
Language is way different. And we have many dialects here in town. We have many languages, I believe 50 plus, if not 100. Really, it's a lot of languages. I don't want to exaggerate, but I know you can Congo. I mean, I'm from Congo, but sometimes I don't get what other Congolese are talking about. Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
So you guys have language services, you do the driver's license courses, things like that. What are the biggest challenges that you guys still face in the work?
The challenges, I'm a nonprofit organization.
Yeah.
Really, I would say my biggest challenge is to sustainability. Yes, I am doing amazing work, which I care and love.
Yeah.
But how is this organization, how is this mission going to exist? Or my center, it's located in a very needy area, under-resourced and underserved, zip code 79107. How can I keep that space open? That's the question that comes to my mind once in a while. I mean, almost every time. I hate to say it because when you are in charge of, I'm the founder, I'm the visionary, I'm the executive director, you have these, you are the shock absorber, like you are the one to make it happen.
It sits on your shoulders.
Yeah, otherwise you're gonna shut down and close. But again, it's my resilience, it's my faith in God, it's my not giving up on this mission, making the right connections so I can be able to raise money. And again, sometimes we provide language interpreters to other organizations. What I'm very well known, we help the courts here in town. We serve our county courts, district courts, which when you go to serve them, they're gonna bless you with their finances to support your organization because you are providing an invaluable language skill service that they can not find anywhere.
Sure. Yeah. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah. Or even like in hospitals, in clinics. I wish we had more financial support. But again, to get people who care about refugees, who want to serve them. Some people that they don't not even know that we have refugee communities here or immigrants. Right. And Amarillo is very diverse.
Yeah.
And these people really makes our communities vibrant. They bring these rich cultures in our neighborhoods, in our town. We should embrace them. We should treat them well. We are thankful to be here. It's just up to us now to go for them, for these resources, for these classes. Are we ready to pursue these and face these challenges? It's a challenge because we don't. If you go to learn English, you are fearful, you are afraid. Oh, are you going to be able to speak it? Why dare go learn English? But I'm like, oh, forget about that. Go do it. You will see after 1 year, after 2 years, once you have developed that love of education or learning, the rest is history. You learn one word today, tomorrow you learn a new word.
Learn another one.
You make a sentence. Now you can write a paragraph. Now you can speak to Skylar on a podcast, on Hey Amarillo podcast. So, yeah.
I think it's interesting to think about, and certainly heartening to hear, your perspective of how welcoming and supportive the Amarillo community is, and that we do have these amazing programs that are plugging refugees and immigrants into, those really, really critical services. And yet, we still, and the work that you're doing, connecting people to higher quality jobs, connecting people to, programs of certifications through Amarillo College and WT, and really getting our refugee population to out of the meatpacking plants.
Yes.
From my perspective and in my very limited knowledge, and I guess that's my question to you: is that the biggest goal? To what end is your work? What is success?
What
does that look like to you for the refugee population in Amarillo?
Yes. That's one of the biggest one. That's getting the youth, the refugee youth, right after high school, having them to pursue education. Education, we are at a point where education is the most valuable.
It is.
It has always been, but now this is the moment. Don't waste your years. Don't waste your time. When you come back from Tascosa or PD Amarillo High School, please go to AC. They have FAFSA, they have financial aid. I do think that we can be our own barriers. We can be our own hurdles. We can be our biggest challenge to overcome and feel like we deserve it. We do feel like we don't deserve. Like we are different from you. And we need to change that. We need to teach these young boys and girls that, hey, that's where you belong.
Yeah.
You belong in those rooms, you belong in those classes,
Yeah.
and give it a try and see how it ends. And for me to be who I am right now, it's those moments, those opportunities that I took when I was young, scary, I don't know what I'm doing. I just want to help. I've always had this big heart to help my community and other communities and be creative. I'm just a creative. I have a project in Africa where I do go back every year and give clothes and food to widow, maybe pay some school fees or rent for African kids, African refugees, like Congolese refugees who lives in Kenya.
Right.
I can go back to Kenya every year to support them, to have those kind of programs. Because I know they're in Kenya. That's where I was 10 years ago, 2010, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
I know the challenges. I know they are lost. But I am here. There is still hope. Just don't give up.
This episode is sponsored by the Amarillo Art Institute at Arts in the Sunset. If you haven't been, this place is an amazing center for Amarillo's vibrant art scene. They have monthly events, including their First Friday Art Walk, which showcases the artists they have in residence, and they are some incredibly talented people with all sorts of wares and mediums. They also offer classes for children and adults in things like glass blowing, weaving, and pottery. It's all super cool. Check them out on Facebook. That's Arts in the Sunset. Okay, we're back with Samuel Uwimana. Samuel, this is the part of the show I call 8 Straight. So I'm going to ask you 8 questions. You can answer them however you want.
It's one of my favorites.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, parts of the podcast at Hey Amarillo.
Oh, fun.
You're going to have to wait at the end of the conversations to hear what people really like.
Yeah.
So you can pick up on their favorites, places, and
nice.
Yeah, I'm excited. Let's
Cool.
do it.
Okie dokie. What do you hope for Amarillo in 10 years?
A thriving city, having smart people educated, nearly all the population educated, because you see there is gaps. There is classes. We have high class and lower classes and middle class. We need to be able, everyone, to access what anyone else with higher education to access.
What is your favorite local restaurant?
My favorite, I don't have one specific. I like to eat at Tom's restaurant. It's near my office, Northeast, 24th and Grand. I have tried Texas Roadhouse on Sundays. Now, let me tell you what Congolese refugees and many immigrant communities, which one is their favorite?
Please.
I'm not speaking for everyone, but when I go there, I see many of them. It's called Lynn's Buffet.
Oh,
because
yeah.
it's a buffet and you get to eat it as much as you can. We grew up with less food, so when we get a chance to pay less money and it's a buffet, we go crazy. I like to eat steaks there when I go to Lynn's Buffet. It's off of I-40 Sonsi.
Yep, just north of I-40.
Yeah, I love their steak. If I eat for good steaks, I'm like,
nice.
My $20 has done its job.
Very good. Okay, other than wind, what does this area have too much of?
Amarillo has a lot of flat land.
Yeah.
I don't think we have, where in Congo, where I come from, Rwanda is known for, this is like their nickname, Rwanda, which is should visit Rwanda and please visit Africa. It's a beautiful continent. It's called country of 10,000 hills. Oh. Yeah. They have mountains, gorillas, rainforests. But here, man, we don't have, beautiful scenes, no mountains.
What does this area not have enough of?
For the work I do, I would say we should have more centers for refugee communities and more things going on to promote their education. We do have good people, but we also need more people, more good people here in Amarillo.
What's the most underrated aspect of living here?
that we get to drive 15 minutes and we are wherever we need to be. 50.
That is the perfect answer. I agree so much.
Yeah, you can drive 20 minutes and you are like, you already go to the end of the city.
Totally.
Or you can come from Tyson to Swansea within 20 minutes, 25 minutes, and that's it.
Yeah. When was the last time you visited Paladuro Canyon?
I have never been
Never.
to Paladuro Canyon. But this summer, a few weeks ago, we have been talking to visit Paladuro Canyon and also take our team with us and take some refugee kids, refugee youth to visit, because most of them have never been to Paladuro Canyon to see that beautiful scenic, to go hike.
Okay, that concludes the 8 straight questions. I like to wrap things up by asking my guests to endorse something. So what is something in our city or area that you would like to endorse, Samuel?
I would like to endorse United Refugee Services, just an organization that does almost everything for the refugee communities. We provide language interpreters. We are professionals. We highly value trust and honesty. That's one of the values that we instill in our team members. We interpret in courts, hospitals, clinics. If you need us, just shoot me an email, samuel@unitedrefuge.org. But again, I don't want it to be about myself only. And if you know, before I go to other people, if you know a refugee is struggling to get a driver license, we help them with those needs. Need to enroll in an English class, please. If you know someone who's looking for a job, send them our way. If you know someone who is isolated, who wants to have friends, we have a program called Refuge in Friendship. Come on, send them our way.
The work that you do, Samuel, is critical and really amazing. And thank you so much for sharing your story. It certainly is a remarkable one. And thanks for your time today.
Oh, thank you.
That concludes this episode. Thanks to Samuel for the interview. If you'd like to learn more or support United Refugee Services, visit unitedrefugee.org. More thanks to Amarillo Art Institute and Amarillo Venture Capital for supporting the podcast, and to Angelina Marie for editing every week. If your business is interested in supporting the podcast, you can contact us at heyamarillo.com. Thanks so much for listening. This has been episode 405 of Hey Amarillo. My name's Skylar Gallup, and I'll see you next week.